Welcome to On a Way with Beryl Botman in conversation with Lenky Yars. Lenky is a multi-talented performing artist. We switch in our conversation between English and Afrikaans as we talk about her career and a passion for storytelling. Do enjoy this conversation. Lenky, when I think about the two of us, I can't but start with COVID.
Absolutely.
And yes, 2020, that was when we really got to know one another. How do you reflect on that time when you think back about it?
So what I have to say is when I was coming here, all the memories they just start flooding. But besides that, most of the time, people have to hear, guys. When you were with us in COVID time, you would have been in different countries at home. It was the fun. It was the dressing up for going to the opera to watch Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
It was the Clarence with the long arm. It was all those dances. I can still feel it in my knie vandag. Because but most of all the conversations and I have one of the most beautiful memories that I have is you presented me with a hymn book, the Nuwe Sionsgesange, and that book is going everywhere with me. And then when people offer me, they say, "Asses beat my klare boek gegee." Ek is gecover, but the meals, the conversations, en moenie praat van die lekker wyne nie. Toe die mense so strak en toe drink ek lekker.
Ja, ons het nooit so was sonder wyn nie, omdat ons nie so baie gedrink het.
Precies.
Dat het nie opgeraak.
Dat het nie opgeraak. Kyk, en het was nie nodig gewees om nuwe kruike weer te gebruik.
Well, Lenky, at that time, I think that was a turning point in your career. You were just starting to step out of what you've been doing before, and moving slowly, step by step, week by week, from Springbok in Namaqualand to Cape Town. You got more and more offers. Can you speak about that particular transition in your career?
Absolutely. I remember in February 2020, just a month before COVID, imagine, I've got a call on a Saturday morning. And this lady, she was calling me from Media 24 from via channel 147. And she was saying, Lenky, you need to be in Cape Town on Sunday. And you need to be in Melkbosstrand. Melkbos, yes, drove past, but don't know anything. And there's a camping site. We are busy there. That's our location for the shoots. You need to go there and you need to gain experience, and then from there you are going to start in our offices. Boy, your voices be deep in. My ex in it. Yeah, I will be there, no problem. En ek is nog besig met een van my hoërskoolonderwyseres. Ons is nog in 'n gesprek. Ek sê jy moet my nou loop aflei by die huis. Ek moet mamma begin pak julle tydjies. Ek moet gaan. And but also I think the reason for why those things started to happen as well is because of the career that I had at Radio NFM, and then people started seeing me. And then the open doors that was there after the Attica Media Vierkie, because I won a Media Vierkie in 2019 for best presenter at the community radio station. And after that it was like yes, die balpies het toe nou begin aangegaan, maar daai 20 February se kom. And we met in 2019
Yes.
at the birthday party. And then when I came working at Media 24, and then they say, we are going to make you project leader at Die Lewe Skilk Jou Niks. It's a new TV show with Marlene Leroux as a presenter, and Sis B was also one of the guests on that show. And you know, because by that time we were staying together, the
Yes.
late night sitting up, organizing everything for the job to be done. And then after that, and I remember even in that time I was already the field presenter for Klopmos.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I started also in 2019 as the field presenter for Klop. Kolatos Praat, that was on Kyknet and Key. And I remember in that time we couldn't go out, so I was even doing interviews from Wynberg. Oh. En soos ek kyk as jy nou 'n colored is, dan sê is Upper Wynberg. So yes, and then I remember in April, that was the first time that we could really go out and go
Yes.
do location shoots for Klop and all those things. And this is maar, it started small, and then TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok. We did TikToks. We were dancing. We were langarming. We went all out.
Yes.
So, and I think those were part of the things that also made people to say, okay, here's some stuff happening. And I also think somehow the way we were also connected, that also connected other people to us. Because I remember when people saw our food also, the comments that was, nou wanneer kan ons nou kom? Kom nou julle nie ook 'n besie. And as I remember also now fondly of Brendan Fix, he was the station manager of Group FM. He also died during COVID, but he was also one of those people, and may his soul rest in peace, who was always saying, I want to be where you two are.
Yes, Lincoln. So that represented you transitioning, coming from Namakwaland. Nou, Namakwaland is waar jou wortels is. En jy het begin om stories te soek van Namakwaland. Nou, ek wil bietjie jy moet vir ons bietjie daaroor praat, oor waarom jy dink dit is so belangrik dat ongunde stories meer in die openbaar moet wees. Hoekom is Namakwaland se stories belangrik?
Namakwaland op sigself is kombers van stories, want ek dink elke lappietjie op 'n laslappie kombers is 'n storie vir alles van Namakwaland, maar elke mens se storie is ook uniek natuurlik. Maar ek voel net daar is soveel veral wanneer kom by taal in die eerste plek. Namakwaland is 'n provinsie wat sterk staan op taal. Ons praat Afrikaans, maar as ek eintlik sê, Namakwaland se root is eintlik Nama. En om juist daai stories van 'n vergete taal kon te gelop hale, daai stories te kon ontgin het om in die Nama hoofstad te kon stap en met hom Gert links te praat en te sê, weet jy, die klere man wat ons aantrek, wat verteenwoordig dit? Die kos wat ons eet, die musiek wat ons maak, al hierdie dinge. So dit is vir my een van die groot goed gewees, is om die taal weer te laat lewe wat Nama is. En dan ook, Namakwaland is ryk aan kultuur. Dis vir my, dis nog vir my 'n kultuurskat wat nog half onderontwikkel is, wat nie na gekyk word nie, wat net so nou en dan uitkom en wys, ek is ook hier, maar ek dink Namakwaland is in 'n posisie nou waar die lig kan groter en helderder skyn, maar behalwe dit ook, Namakwalanders is gebore storievertellers. 'n Mens hang in 'n Namakwalanders mond, wanneer hy mond opgaan. Jy weet sommige tye nie wat daar uitkom nie, want dit is 'n bietjie te vinnig, 'n bietjie net hou net dat praat net 'n bietjie staan, maar is van opgewondenheid oor dit wat hier binnekant sit. En daai eenvoud van storie vertel lewe ryk ook daar. So daar is unieke stories, daar's hartseer stories, soos maar in enige plek. En dan is daar, ja, hulle sê ons het 'n ander taal ook in Namakwaland, dis natuurlik die vloektaal, maar dit is daarom regtig ook nie so nie. Dis maar net 'n manier van praat.
Van
sal
uitdruk.
van uitdruk.
Ja.
En dan niemand druk hom so lekker uit soos Namakwa as jy daarom eers vir jou sê, soos wat jy jou moet sê nie, maar die rykdom van stories, die rykdom van kultuur. Namakwaland is meer as net die blomme waarvoor mense elke jaar gaan. We are way more than the flowers. The flowers is the people. Dit wat in ons lê is ingegraveer in daai klipkoppies. Dit loop op daai bar grond, daai aarde wat so lê. Wat lyk jy kan nie opgebreek word, maar my mens is jy hom opbreek as dit pure lekkerte wat uit daai grond uitkom. Dis daai kokerboom wat staan. As jy onder hom gaan sit, dan voel jy die vrede wat mense gevoel het in daai tyd toe hulle daar onder hom groot geword het. En dis hoekom mense, vir die wat jy weet, die van kokerbome kon hulle huise maak, hulle kon yskaste maak, en daar's nog so baie van daai. So dis 'n ryk geskiedenis, is 'n ryk wêreld, en dis 'n wat mense ook noodwendig vergeet, ook is dat Namakwaland is ook ryk aan minerale, diamante, mangaan, koper, lood, silwer, en so kan mense aan gaan, zink, al die goeders is te kry by ons. So ons is brekerig.
Ja. En nou het hulle nog windplase ook.
Presies. En sonkrag.
Ja.
En al die dinge. En daar's net nuwe dinge wat elke keer gebeur. Ek weet nie of mense weet tussen Oukiep en Bersig is daar soos 'n Namastad ook wat gebou is met die huitjies en al die goed. Daar waar mense ook kan loop leer van hoe die mense geleef het in die voortyd. Kinderlê is daar. Daar's die kinderlê gedenk steen is daar of graf wat dit moes nou herdenk en gedenk, en dan is daar ook kan mense draailoop maak op die plaas Besonderheid waar die storie vanaf eintlik afgespeel het. So daar is so baie stories oor Namakwaland. Ek kan aangaan. Ek is brekerig.
Dit is so. Die kokerboom het regtig 'n diepe indruk op my gemaak. Die keer dat jy ons genooi het, so 'n groepie van ons genooi het, om daar te gaan kuier, langs die Oranje rivier. En die kokerboom het my beïndruk, want dit spreek van diepte, van ouderdom. Al is dit klein, dit gee jou daai gevoel, ek is lank hier.
Yes.
En
Absoluut.
hy speel 'n baie belangrike rol ook in die lewens. En die koppies is op allerpragtigste, so wonderskoon, né?
Dis die mooiste. Dit is soos Namakwaland is mos maar eintlik maar soos 'n oop 'n canvas. En 'n mens kan nie die hele tyd byverf en byteken, want elke kwashaal maak 'n verskil. Dis soos daai kokerboom. Ek noem hom mos, hy is vir my die simbool van lankmoedigheid.
Ja.
En van wysheid, en van krag tot krag. En as 'n mens kyk, ons weer is mos ook maar die speletjies. Hulle sê mos hier in die Kaap is dit so warm, mas kan nie Namakwaland is net hulle se weer kom terugvat. Kom vat net julle se staan, ons het nou genoeg gebrand. But om te dink daai boom staan deur elke weeromstandighede. Sommige van daai bome is oor die 200 jaar oud, en dit wys net 'n mens, hy boom gaan net van krag tot krag. En natuurlik ons ou klipkoppe. Ons noem hom in volksmond by ons noem ons die koubanke. Nou daai koubanke toe ons kinders gewees het ons daarom van daai besigheid afgegly. En as jy by die huis aangekom het, dan kom jy nog met 'n stuk in 'n broek of 'n stuk in 'n rok aan. Dan word jy nog geslat op hy stuk in 'n rok ook, en dan kom jy nog met 'n seer. Hoekom het jy seer gekry? Maar daai koubanke spreek ook van daar is stories op stories, stories op stories op stories, van gly af, tot op skryf, tot op, as jy nou tussen niemand wil wees en jy wil net iewers op sit, dan is daai jou studeerkamer, dis jou biegkamer, dis jou alles.
As jy sou sê, wie is verantwoordelik vir die vertel van daai stories? Wie moet verantwoordelikheid opneem, dink jy?
Um, ek onthou in een van die produksies wat ek gespeel het, Ellie, is daar die volgende gesê. As die kinders die stories hoor, sal hulle nie die stories kan oorvertel nie. Niemand gaan die stories vertel nie. So die verantwoordelikheid is eerstens by ons self. Ons sit met die stories, so dit beteken ons het nou hierdie vakansie 'n tiener gehad. So vir my is my verantwoordelikheid, ek moet daai kind die stories vertel, want daai kind moet weer die stories kan vorentoe vat. Maar die verantwoordelikheid van die stories berus by ons, want niemand gaan ons stories vertel soos wat dit vertel moet word. Mense gaan na Namakoland toe. Dan haal hulle ons stories, vertel dit asof dit hulle eie stories is. En dan flop dit hier op Kolle. In sommige tye slaag dit, maar dit flop omdat dit nie onsself is wat die stories vertel. En ek dink Namakolanders moet begin trots raak oor ons stories. En ons moet dit wat ons mos altyd gelaat glo. Ons praat te plat, of julle praat te snaaks, of mense lag as hulle hoor Namakolanders praat. En ek dink ons moet verby beweeg van daai, op onsself bewus wees. Wees trots op jou kom vandaan. Wees trots op jou tongval, want hy kom van ver af. Wees trots op hoe jy klink, en moenie bang wees. En jy sta vir niemand terug nie, want hoe jy praat, en hoe, maak nie saak hoe die lewe ook al met jou gedraai het, en hoe jou storie klink, en hoe hy lyk vir iemand anders. Vertel hom met trots, want dit is joune. En dit wat jy vertel, nou stories moet so, iemand anders hoor. En hy gaan die hele tyd so, Dus, kyk vir Tagrietjie van Garries.
Ja.
Haar storie het sy vertel met sang. En Tagrietjie sal nooit vergeet word nie. As ek nou nog op YouTube is, hulle opsoek ek, is daar die Grietjie van Garries, wat kan ek weer vandag luister? Daai tipe van. En sy sal in die geskiedenis van Suid-Afrika, sal sy nooit vergeet word. Dit is nou 'n ikoon van Namakoland.
Maar tog, is daar ook 'n verantwoordelikheid vir die uitneem van die stories op liggame, op mediahuise en so, om daardie stories vertel te kry. Wat sê jy
Absoluut.
daarvan?
Absolute subspear. I cannot stress this
Yes.
a lot. And the reason sometimes why stories like stories from Namakoland or plattelandse stories from the country is omdat ons wil dit self doen, but we don't necessarily have the resources to do it. And to get those resources, that's also a problem, because mense sal goed vat wat vinniger verkoop. Soms is dit stories wat nie 'n sin maak of saak maak nie, of it's just there for the show. They would rather use that as to use authenticity and integrity as to what sells fast, and that is also a problem for people like me. Ons het die stories, ons het die materiaal. Dis die ding, ons het die materiaal, but we do not have the resources. En die ander ding is die mense by wie jy moet aanklop ook, die mense wat eintlik moet help, is die wat ook maar eintlik, hoe sê mens, daar's nou 'n woord wat ek soek, maar hy's nou uit my kop, en ek dink nou in Engels en Afrikaans
Soort
tegelykertydig.
van nie oop is. Daarvoor is dit waarna jy wil. Van nie oop is daarvoor.
Nie regtig oop is, soos wat ek nou sal sê, soos mense wat die resources het. En wanneer ek praat van resources, om 'n TV-program te maak, of om, dit begin alles by die research, en dan kom dit by development.
Boek te skryf, alles,
Alles. En dit kom op 'n gesonde bedrag,
Ja.
kom dit af. Maar dis nie asof daai bedrag nie daar is nie. Dis soms net nie die regte deure wat aangeklop word nie. En soms wanneer jy aan daai deure klop, dan is dit alweer te laat. Dan het iemand anders. Soos my een vriendin sê altyd, 'n idee is eksklusief nie. So jy kan dink jy het hierdie kwaai gedagte. En dan sien jy oor 2 jaar maar iemand anders. En dan dink jy, ja, maar dit was my gedagte, maar dit was nie eintlik net jou gedagte nie. So die ding is dis 'n timing is ook 'n bitterlike groot ding. Maar rand en sent.
Sent en die wilskrag
En die
ook.
wilskrag.
Ja.
En daar's van ons wat wil bou en wat wil aangaan en wat kan sien wat kan gebeur. Maar dan is dit en is soms vir mense ook moeilik om jou visie oor te dra want nie almal is praters nie. And then you will get those people, let my work speak for itself, but people want to hear.
Yes.
So yeah. So dis maar 'n moeilike een, is 'n tawwe een.
I have known you to be a multifaceted artist. Do you like doing your work, your craft in this multifaceted way? Or would you have preferred to specialize in that to which your heart speaks?
As for me, doing what I'm doing now, being a multifaceted artist, in a way, it's because I'm still young in the industry, although I'm grown in years, right? But I'm still young in the industry. So, finding my footing, I knew that I love stories very, very much, especially telling people stories. So that's a love. That's a must. That's make me waking up every day and that is me. But I want to grow more in this industry. But also, I think because my kop is so deurmekaar, it's everywhere. So everything that I do, and it's like it's part of me. Like doing voiceover work. It is the nicest way of acting, die lekkerste manier van act, because jy is nie nou op 'n stage nie, you are not acting on TV, you are acting with your voice, and in your voice you must portray what your eyes, your ears, you must portray with everything in you. So I love voice acting. MC work is it's as a lekker sidekick. Ooh, as a lekker sidekick. So yeah, I think I love working myself to the brim and to the fullest and give everything. And then I know, okay, when I'm tired, it's good to be tired. So yeah, I'm enjoying it now. But yes, you want to grow. I want to produce. I want to do other things. I want to, yeah, you want to make the money because people think when you are in front of the camera, you're making the money. No. When you are behind, you are making the big bucks. Because people also look at us as artists as people who makes a lot of money.
Yes.
But they don't know the truth. But the reason why we are doing it because we love it, and it's not to be seen, but it's because we love it.
Alenki, what is there still that you would love to do?
There's so many if I'm going to open my laptop or my phone and the things that I've put together, the stuff that I still want to do. As I said, I'm really working towards production. I really want to produce, and especially stories from the Makwaland. I have so many stories. It's almost like a library on my phone and laptop because of the stories and people are coming and say, thank you, this is something, this is it, that, and I'm loving that. And it's not just people from the Makwaland. There's people reaching out via email, via messenger and all these things. So there's a lot of things. But but as I always said when I started, I'm doing this for the people of Namakwaland. I'm doing it for my Komfandaan because I also want somebody else to believe I can do it. And like last year, for instance, that was possibly for me one of my most difficult years because since I've started working, I was working. So last year was kind of a slow year, as I can, and I was like, come on now, and but alright, there was work. Okay, we've recorded the new Oppie Stoop. During the year there was
Other
voiceover.
opportunities.
There was stuff happening, but it just felt like I wasn't my tired, the tired that I want, that one that you feel like everything in you are aching because you left everything on stage or you left everything wherever you were. So I was missing that. That was something in me that was missing, and as this year is going to progress, and one thing that I've learned last year is don't sit with your ideas. Your ideas doesn't mean anything if it is only on your phone or on your laptop and you are not taking them out and talk about it and talk to the right people about it. Then it will stay ideas and
So you're looking forward to being the producer
yes.
of taking those stories out, making them known so that we can see and hear. Thank
Yes.
you, Lenke, for coming and speaking about your heart and your stories and what you still need and what you are dreaming of.
Thank you, Sis B, for this opportunity. And it's because I was connecting with you also now that I feel a new fire, seeing what you are doing and everything that you have accomplished. That's giving me hope. That's giving me the oomph now. So now I'm ready to run again. You see, sometimes you need to sit down with the people who was also there when you were taking flight. So always come back. Like my one friend said, always remember to go back home to Springbok. Put your feet under your mother's table. Ground yourself. And daar vat jy dit af en af. So thank you for today and thank you for everything.
Thank you for coming home.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining On a Way with Beryl Botman. In conversation with Lenke Jaars, walk tall, tell it all. You've been listening to On a Way with Beryl Botman in conversation. My books are available online and from me directly. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram to learn more about my book talks and appearances. Feel free to write to me at beryl.botman60@gmail.com. Thank you for your time.